Good morning, fourth graders. I would like for you to go ahead and find your instruction math book. It's the one that is glossy covered and has color. And I want you to go ahead and turn to page 128. You can pause the video now and find that. Great. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to be working on dividing whole numbers. I'm going to ask you to just take a few minutes. I want you to look through this example. If you remember, this is called the area model, strategy for division. And I want you to take a second to remember how to use this strategy to solve a division problem. So pause now. All right, so hopefully you have a good refresher of that strategy. I know a lot of you liked that strategy. Since you have such a great example here, on the next problem, I'm going to remind you how to use that partial quotient strategy. So let's take a look at number 14 on the bottom of page 128. It says, a tailor has 641 yards of material to make costumes, and each costume will need 3 yards of material. How many costumes can be made, and will there be any material left over? So I've gone ahead and I've annotated my problem and created my equation. I know that I'm going to be dividing 641 by 3 to represent the yards of material I have and how many I'll need for each costume. I have 2 different questions here. The first one asks me how many I can make, and that's going to be my quotient, which is the answer to a division problem. And it also asks me, will there be any material left over? And I know leftovers in division are my remainders. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use that partial quotient strategy, and I'm going to go ahead and set mine up in that kind of hangman style, and I'll put my 3 here and my 641 on the inside. Now remember, what we're trying to do is to use our math knowledge, our multiplication knowledge, to make this a little easier for us to solve. So as I'm looking at that, I'm noticing a couple of things that I could do to solve this problem. And there's lots of different ways to go about it, but in my head, I know 3 times 2 equals 6. 3 times 2 equals 6, and I've got a 6 in my hundreds place. That's going to help me out a lot. So if I want to put a 6 in the hundreds place, I have to do 3 times 200. 3 times 2 is 6, so 3 times 200 would be 600. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that, and I'll get 41. Okay, boy, I just took a huge chunk out of that big number I needed to divide. So what can I do next? I need something times 3 that will get me close to 41. 3 times what is going to get me close to 41? I love my friendly numbers, so I'm going to just do 10. 3 times 10 is 30. That's pretty close to 41. If I subtract, I'm going to have 11 left. Now, I'm not done yet because I know that 3 can be multiplied yet again to get something close to 11. 3 times 9, 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to subtract that. So you got to be careful. 9, 10, 11. So that is 2 now. Okay. So can I take anything 3 times anything to get 2? No, I cannot. So that is my remainder. I have to stop here. To find my quotient, you'll remember that I need to add all these numbers up. 200 plus 10 plus 3 will give me my quotient, and that is going to be 213 as a quotient with a remainder of 2. So 213 with a remainder of 2 is my answer. There will be 2 yards of fabric left over, and the tailor can make 213 costumes.